Hey guys, welcome back for another episode of Hoeology Podcast. This is your host, Destiny. If you can't tell by the title, today's episode is all about how to have the perfect hoe phase. The whole purpose of the hoe phase / dating phase is to just explore, live your life, whatever. And it's actually a question I get a lot because I'm very open about dating multiple people and pretty much just dating to benefit myself right now. So that's why I'm like, you know what, let me put it into an episode and just refer people if I need to. So let's get started. Our tweet of the week says, a petition to stop calling it a hoe phase and call it what it is. Exploring your romantic and sexual options as a young woman the same way men do. I think having a hoe phase is essential. I don't care what anybody says. I think that having a hoe phase has allowed me to learn exactly what I do and don't want, exactly what I did and didn't like when it comes to sex, as well as the different things that I was looking for or that I am looking for in a long-term partner. To me, having a hoe phase just means you're being unapologetically yourself and you don't answer to anybody and you just do what makes you happy. The issue is not enough people can separate their individuality while they're dating. And I will die on that hill. That's something I say all the time. People just lose themselves in dating and relationships, whatever. And I get that you're supposed to become one eventually, but when you're dating, you're supposed to only be one by yourself. Also, I would say not enough people know how to date, so that contributes to that. I think over the last half year or so, I've finally learned how to date, and thus I finally had the perfect hoe phase, I would say. Now, if you haven't heard my thoughts and my pretty much breakdown of the hoe phase versus casual dating, check out that episode. It's titled, Is Hoeing Just a Phase? This episode is not about what I think about hoeing versus casual dating. This episode is how to have the perfect hoe phase and how to have a dating life that serves you. Do I think I'm an expert? Hell no, but I have seen tremendous growth in my dating life as well as the people that I attract because of this method that I'm about to share with you guys. So let's get started. In my opinion, the perfect dating formula can be watched and learned by watching men. Men date the right way, I would say. They're selfish when they date. They get what they want exactly out of the person that they're dating. And we're talking about heterosexual relationships right now because that's all I can speak to. But men do it the right way. That's why they end up with exactly what they want, who they want, what they want her to look like, etc. So you're probably like, okay, what exactly does that even mean? Don't worry, I'm gonna break it down for you. Okay, so step 1. Don't commit until you've met all of your needs. While you're free from commitment, aka, being single and dating and hoeing, this is the best time to get to know yourself. Like I mentioned before, this is when I learned exactly what I did and don't want. On Is Hoeing Just a Phase episode, I also mentioned I have a friend that, is I really want a relationship, but I'm sometimes you got to go through some fucked up shit to then realize what you do and don't want. I mean, I'm not saying you can't know what you want, but also going through things makes you learn what you're willing to tolerate and what you're not willing to tolerate. And that is what you learn when you're dating and getting to know people. I always say you can't let anyone tell you who you are when you're secure within yourself. So when you're using this time of dating and all of this, stay committed to yourself. There's no reason you should rush into anything and give someone the potential or ammunition, because when we feel comfortable with people, we like to open up and pour into them thinking it's a safe space, and in reality it's not. This is a complete stranger. There's no reason they need to know your entire dating history or life history. Only thing that these people need to know about you when you're dating is your STI status and that you're not dating exclusively. That is all they need to know. They don't need to know that your ex cheated on you or that you have trust issues. They don't need to know that, because what is that? That is literally textbook ammunition of, I could use this later on to finesse her or to trick her. That's it. Keep it to yourself. The same goes for your friendships while you're in your hoe phase or dating phase. You do not need to tell your friends every single person that you're talking to or chatting with. A lot of the time, especially with our society, We say that we're unbothered, but as a society, we really do care what other people think. Most people don't already know how to actually date. So if you're stepping outside of the box on dating, and maybe let's say you're dating 5 guys at once, everybody's going to have a million different opinions on that. So keep it to yourself. You're dating the correct way. Everyone else is used to just like, you like somebody, you start talking to them, and you fold, and you're just committed to them until you guys commit to each other. And that's not how it should be. Now, I'm not saying if you're going on a date, you shouldn't share your location with your friends or tell them like, this is who I'm going out with. That's okay. But I am saying to just be very cautious about who you tell about what. Again, these are strangers. Like, you don't want to hype this person up to your friends and a week later be embarrassed because you realize that they were not a person that you actually wanted to keep around long term. So just be cautious about it. That's it. And to circle back on how this relates to how men date, ask your guy friends how many girls they're talking to, and really just consider how many of them, like the girls that they've been open to you about. Like, how many names do you actually know that your guy friends are talking to? Usually you don't. Your guy friends don't talk about girls that they're just talking to and or dating unless it's serious, because they don't want to show that that's that commitment to them. You should be doing the same. Once you start like, oh, this is so and so, this is like the guy I'm dating, like, then that's when the like the pre-commitment comes in before there's been an actual commitment agreed upon by both people. Step 2 is obvious. It's the sex. Exploring your likes, wants, and figuring out your needs. Keep in mind, these are all very different. I think that likes can be disposable, wants are negotiable, and needs are your boundaries. So going in a little bit further, likes would be like, I like lingerie in the bedroom. A want would be like, I want to have threesomes. Needs would be, I need a partner who is willing to explore both of our sexualities. Of course, though, make sure you're having safe sex while you're exploring. Even though like sex is a duh to the whole phase, I'm not saying to just give it away to anybody that slides in your DM. But I am saying you have to have an open mind and you have to be willing to explore your sexuality while you're dating and in your hoe phase. Even if you're just exploring by yourself. I will say men have definitely perfected the art of having just lots of sex and exploring their own sexuality in their hoe phase and in their dating phase, as they should, you know? So that's why I say definitely take a note from the men in this department too. Step 3 on the roster, and I would say arguably the most duh besides sex that I've taken from men, is having a roster, aka a rotation. Rosters are essential, and developing yours takes some work. I would say though, like, each person should definitely serve a different purpose that's on your roster, and you'll need to figure out who is going to serve what purpose as you continue dating them. For example, who's going to serve as your dick appointment or pee appointment. Another person might serve as like your quality time person or your travel boo. It's all about getting to know exactly what you like, want, and need, just like I mentioned before. Make sure though that you set some time aside for yourself. It's really hard to like date 5 people at once and still have me time and, you know, take yourself out for things that you want to do. But the best part of a roster and dating is deciding when and what you want to give somebody. Like, I only want to date on Tuesday, so you better hope that there is a free Tuesday coming up. That's the best part, is you set your own rules. Another cool thing though about rosters or rotations is giving cute code names for the guys that you're dating or girls that you're dating. If you do decide to let your friends in on your dating life, the code names also help associate like who is who. Step number 4 is essential. It is serve yourself first. This step is harder to understand for people because we're pretty much taught that putting ourselves first is a bad thing. But why? Why is taking care of yourself bad? I love saying that you can't pour from an empty cup because it's true. You can't be this amazing partner if you've never learned to put yourself first. From my friends that are married or have children, I've learned that it's extremely easy, like I said before, to lose that individuality when you get with a partner or have to dedicate yourself to another person like a child. So I say, you know, when you're in your hoe phase, serve yourself. Do what makes you happy 100% of the time. And you'll find that when you make yourself happy, People that aren't happy with themselves will filter right out of your life. The day that I started setting and enforcing my boundaries is the day that like my dating life improved tremendously. And well, of course, that with therapy too, but regardless, I would say that you definitely need to put yourself first when you're dating. Otherwise, you're going to keep folding and keep conforming, and you're never going to get exactly what you want out of a relationship. Honestly, you could look at the relationships around you and ask yourself, it's one thing to compromise, but to sacrifice your needs and wants in a relationship, how is that a relationship? How is anybody benefiting from that besides the person that doesn't have to sacrifice? For step 5, I need y'all to take out a pen and piece of paper, and matter of fact, take out a permanent marker and a piece of paper and write this down. Do not give relationship privileges to people that you're dating. Spending extended quality time, multiple sleepovers, meeting and hanging out and mixing of friends, those are relationship privileges. When you're dating and actually dating, go on your date and go home. If you want to hook up with them, hook up and go home. I really can't stress it enough. I know that it can be easy to go into comfort mode, especially when you really like them, but who is that benefiting? Typically, if you're a girl, it's benefiting the guy. In these situations, the woman gets comfortable, she goes into relationship mode, aka benefits mode, while the man continues to date around. And then the woman is stuck dancing around the what are we question until the guy either settles or never makes it official. And by then you look back and you're like, I have wasted so much time on this person. This is why I say it's important to keep dating. Have them show you exactly why they deserve 100% of your time. And step 6 is develop some game. Don't fall for the typical bullshit in the DMs. If you're a bad bitch and guys typically approach you first, I say switch it up. Go for the men first. Personally, my game is humor. Like, I'm really funny and guys seem to feel comfortable around me, so they relax and then I relax. And also, my side trick is I use what my guy friends use. A lot of my guy friends are open with me about the shit that they like to hear from women or shit that they say to women. So I use that to my advantage. Talk to your guy friends and listen to what they have to say. Honestly, when you're having your whole face and you're dating, your guy friends are going to be the best judge of character. They can tell you when a guy is running game, and when you know their game, you can use it against them and use it back on them. I would say learn how to flirt, and I don't mean flirting like caving in when they flirt back. I mean flirting like be a little bit aggressive, but not like intimidating, because that's like sexy. Like, guys think that that's cute. And it's the best way to keep control of the situation when you're flirting first and when you're approaching them first. Honestly, like, the best way for me to like do that, to like flirt and get the attention, is in person. I think too, like, flirting has saved me from like hours of swiping on dating apps. Not that I haven't used dating apps, but it's probably the best way, I say, to like practice your flirting or practice setting boundaries too, because oh my god, there's so many frogs on dating apps. Like, it's hard out here. The dating game is hard, but once you perfect, your game, it'll be easy from there. You can just keep using the same thing over and over. Men are easy. The final step is to date up. There is no reason that you should be fucking with anyone below your current standards, not even like just once, or not even for strictly sexual purposes. You should enjoy this time fully. Let someone splurge on you. Let someone please you. And this goes for men too, of course. Like, don't be out with a girl who's begging you to pay her bills on the first date. Like, set your boundaries and stand on them. And date up. Again, I don't think I've ever seen a guy date down. Like, they always date at their level or up. Those are the same things that we should be using as women to like get, as they say, high value men. But I think that overall, just look at what guys do and they seem to be winning. Like, they're not crying over heartbreaks and crying because we didn't know what we were doing, like I was in the Going Raw episode. They don't have those problems. Women do. So when women start dating like men, the game will change and all will be correct in the world. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this mini episode, and I will see you soon for another one. Happy hoeing!